Okay, the next one is rounding to the nearest 100. Fine, let's see how that will work out. Remember, the 5 rule still applies. A strong, a weak number, rounding up, rounding down. Because no matter how many numbers you write down, all the digits will eventually be between 0 and 9. So let's take a number, let's see, a number 123. Let's take the number 150. Whatever, 58. Okay. 100, we're rounding to the nearest 100. Identify your 100. So that is a 100. That is a 100. So we can even write it 110 unit. 110 unit. Remember what I said? The numbers before 100 does not count. So in this case, luckily there's nothing in front of the 100, so it does not count. Great stuff. 123. My 100, look to the friend on the right. It's always to the friend on the right. So in this case, it would be the tens. The previous ones, when we were doing 23, we were standing on the 10 and using the unit to determine. This case, the unit does nothing for us. We don't even care about it. So I'm someone going to scratch that out. The unit will fall away completely, but don't do that, but I'm just showing you. So we're looking at the 100, the one next to it. That's all. Forget about the 3. Look at the 2. The 2 says we are obviously rounding down because it's a weak number. So the 1 will stay 100 because every time you have a weak number, it stays the same. Then both of those will become a 0. It's not just the 2 that's going to become a 0 and the 3 is going to stay there because we're rounding to the nearest 100, which means the answer should be in 100 form. Either 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 800, and 900. That's all your answers should be one of those 9 numbers. There's no such thing as 901 because the 10 fell away. It's always 100. In this case, same thing. Look at your 100. We found it. Our friend on the right, which is the tens, will determine. Always the friend on the right because the 10 will influence the 100. It always works like that because once we've finished tens when we're counting 99, then we go to 100. So that's how it works because it's the next number after the tens have been used up. All the tens have been used up. Now we're moving to the hundreds. The moment we get to the number 999, all the hundreds have been used up. So we're moving to the thousand. So that's why we use its friend on the right to determine. It's a strong number. It's going up. That means this one influence the 1. It becomes a 2 and then 0, 0. So in a nutshell, the number 123, when we're rounding or estimating, it will be 100 only because these are weak numbers. When we are using the number 158, when we're rounding or estimating, we are going to use the number 200 because those are nice, strong numbers. Okay, I'm going to do another one with 245 100 tens units. Found my 100 and 261 100 tens unit. Okay, find your 100. Look to the friend on the right. It is a 4. It's a weak number. It's under 5, so we're rounding down. Okay, that means our answer, the 2, has not changed because we're jumping back to 200. Right. This side, 261. I found my 100. I look to my friend on the right. It is a 6 because it's a 10. It's a weak. It's a strong number. A nice strong number. It means that this 2 will then change because 26 is very close to 30. Ta-da! And that's our little estimations. I'm going to do one more. And I'm going to put a funny number in the beginning just so that you can see. 3 sommer, and then here I'm going to put a 2 7 7 6. Okay, we're rounding to the nearest hundred, which means our hundreds should be any one of these numbers. Okay, identify with the 100. That one stays the same because it's 1,000. It has nothing to do with the rest of the sum. Okay, 3 3 3. Look to the friend on the right. So that's why we underline it, so that you don't want to use the thousands for no reason. Look to the friend on the right. Sharp. We've got that friend on the right. It is a weak number. It's less than 5. That means we are rounding down, and that becomes a 300. And the 2 after that will obviously become zeros because our answer has to be in 100. So see, we used 300. Your answer rounded was to the 300, even though the 1,000 had nothing to do with it. I'm giving you a bit more difficult one just so that you can understand what's going on. Here again, that is 1,000 as 100, a 10, and a unit. 1,000, no, what are we doing? Oh, we're rounding to 100. Great, I found my 100. The 1,000 will not change because we're not working after anything that has thousands. We're working with hundreds. Look to my friend on the right. It's the 10. It's a 7 because the number 77 is very close to 100. So we are pushing it up. We're rounding up. That becomes an 8, and we're rounding it down. So to sum up, the number 1,333 rounded to the nearest 100 will be 1,300 estimated. The number 2,776 rounded to the nearest 100 will be 2,800 estimated. So there you have it. So these are rounding. Watch it over again, and then you will definitely not forget it, I hope.